Hello, welcome to a video on last row specifically in a 500. Obviously this will apply to last rowing in general, but there are some very specific things to a 500 designed at a person trying to get their 500 kit, especially when they're using Karis healing only, which is what this raid is right now. This is actually a 450 scaled to 2 people. I was doing a boost and the guy unfortunately disconnected, and long story short, that ain't happening, so I'm just going to use this opportunity to record a guide on last row. The big things that I want to emphasize are the fact that last row is a 6-tick cycle. So I have a little visual metronome open here. I'll put it up at the top of the screen. I don't know. Where do you think that's at? Ooh, oops, scaled that up. Right there, maybe? That's a good spot for it. And you'll notice the bombs are going... What the fuck am I trying to say? The lightning spawns every 6 ticks and explodes for those 6 ticks. So I don't know what the number it's going to be that they're spawning on, but they will spawn on, let's say, tick 2, 3, and 4. And then on ticks 5, 6, and 1, those same bombs will then be exploding. And that lightning cycle repeats every 6 ticks. So you'll notice, and I'll point it out as well, that the lightning spawns every 3 for 3 ticks and then explodes for 3 ticks. The Baba boulders fall every 3 ticks as well. So you'll notice 2 boulders per lightning cycle. All those things are relevant kind of to help you understand the best way to move across lightning, because sometimes there's so much lightning that you have to basically step onto a lightning as it explodes. And you'll see me doing that in this clip as well. I'll try to point it out. So yeah, 6-tick cycle. Bombs explode every not bombs. Boulders fall every 3 ticks. Lightning every 6 ticks. I don't think you can get hit by 2 lightnings in the same lightning wave. What I mean by that is the lightning happens, like there'll be a wave 1 lightning, wave 2, wave 3, tick 1, tick 2, tick 3, and then they'll explode 4, 5, and 6. If you get hit by a lightning on tick 4, what are the odds that you actually get hit by the lightning on tick 4 and on tick 6? Maybe you make that mistake, but in general, you're probably just going to get hit by 1 lightning every 3.6 seconds at most. That's really handy to know, because if you're using Karis only, if you watch your HP and you're dodging boulders, here's the big helpful thing. The max hit of a lightning is 27 in a 500. I'm doing it in a 450, so I don't know if the lightning's going to be proccing 27s. The minimum's a 17, the max is a 27. So as long as you're 30 HP or more, let's say, as long as you don't get hit by a boulder, you have 7.2 seconds basically to get your Karis on and click the special attack. If you're less than, and then just don't let your HP fall below 27 HP, because then you're absolutely one hit. At that point, you should be Karis specking. So if you are above 30 HP, even above 27 in reality, above 28, you can't be one hit by lightning. So just focus on not getting hit by a boulder. Step somewhere where there's not a boulder. Even if there's lightning, try to obviously not step on lightning, but in general, just avoid a boulder, put your Karis on, make sure you got the prayer, spec, and then go back to dodging boulders and lightning. Another thing I highly recommend here is turning on Entity Hider. Entity Hider lets you see that ground underneath you extremely clearly. The way I normally do this is I will turn on, I just have the spot memorized. And if we go into my Entity Hider plugin details here, I have my local player hidden, but not local 2D. If I hide local 2D, you'll see here, I can't even see the prayers above my head, which I find extremely disorienting. I kind of need to know what's going on above my head. So I have local player. Oop, I did that backwards. Local player and local player hidden, local player 2D not hidden. That way I can see my prayer, I can see my damage splats as well. If you have local player 2D, you won't be able to see how much damage you're taking. You'll see it in your HP bar or your HP orb, but you won't be able to see it in the middle here. That's the main thing I use off of this. If you're with other people, I like to see other people, but I hide others 2D because I don't need to see the prayer above their head. I need to see the prayer above my head. And sometimes having prayer above other people's head it's just distracting. It takes up more space on my screen. Yeah, so we'll get into the 6-tick cycle here. I'll show you some 30 HP dehydration healing with the Karis. Make sure you got your freaking light bearer on. There's no reason in your 500 kit run to have Magus on at this point. And then another really big point. So on top of the whole 30 HP, on top of the 6-tick cycle, the last big point I want to make is if you're in a typical 500, it might not work in this boost, but because of the boosted HP. Just blue potion as soon as you proc enrage phase. There's no way in a standard run you are going to take longer than 2.5 minutes. That's the duration of a liquid adrenaline to kill the boss. Just drink the freaking liquid adrenaline and it will last the whole enrage phase. Because this is boosted, it's a 450. It might last longer than 2.5 minutes. Honestly, I've got a shadow. Probably not. I think I do maybe a minute and 15 seconds of last row for this, if I recall correctly. So even this should last me the full enrage phase. So don't sit there and wait for your HP to get low and then blue potion and then try to do all that while you're carrying while you're low HP. Too much to think about. Camp high prayer points. Know where your Karis is at. I'm going to put it in the top left of my inventory, so it's right next to my special attack orb. And blue pot as soon as you start. Don't wait to blue pot till later because it's pointless. One dose will last you the whole enrage phase in a typical raid. If you're in a team with 7 people and all of them die, except for you, yeah, you might want to save your blue pot because you might only have 1 dose at that point. Save it for when you really need it, but in a standard raid, it's just you or you're in a duo. Just pop it as soon as enrage phase starts. It'll last the whole fight. And you'll see that here as well. All right, so I think those are my 3 big tips. If you're 30 HP or more, you can't be one hit unless you run into a boulder. You don't pray against a block. Assuming you're praying against a block and you are dodging boulders, lightning will not kill you. You have basically 7 seconds. That's 2 waves. That's 3.6 seconds per wave of lightning. So 7.2 seconds to get your Karis on and heal. That's tons of freaking time, as long as you're above 30 HP. And I'll point out the 6-tick cycle. 6-tick cycle, above 30 HP, blue pop when you start, and we'll talk about stepping on top of lightning here. Okay, so now those are the big ones. Now in terms of the technique for dodging lightning, and I want to lay it out now, and then I'll try to commentate it over it as I'm killing the warden. The way I like to think about warden, last row, or even just the waves, like I've said already, it's a 6-tick cycle. If you are standing on a tile and you see lightning, but you don't see lightning under your feet, that means you are guaranteed to be able to move onto the first wave of lightning as it explodes and not take any damage. If you notice you are standing on top of lightning in the first tick that the lightning spawns, move to somewhere where there's not lightning and then try to plan to move to a different tile than the one you just moved off of, where there's also not lightning. Where there's lightning from that first wave, I mean. So I'll if that makes any sense. I hope that makes sense. So just to say that in more words than in other words. When lightning spawns, if there's not lightning under your feet, be prepared to step onto the first wave of lightning as it explodes. If there's lightning under your feet, move to somewhere where there's not lightning. And if you notice lightning starting to spawn under your feet, just get ready to move on to the first wave as it explodes. That's the way I would describe stepping onto lightning and knowing you're not going to take damage. Outside of that, you just kind of have to time it with the boulder so there's not a boulder in your way as well. Sometimes the boulder makes it awkward, and the boulder is happening twice per lightning wave, right? It happens every 3 ticks. Lightning's every 6. So you'll see that the boulder sometimes get in the way. The way I like to try to dodge boulder is move in a way where I'm moving from one side of the last row to the other. I do not switch back and forth very frequently. It's about every wave or 2 of lightning, I will switch directions. I'm not constantly moving to the left and the right, and the left and the right, and the left and the right. I'm trying to move to the left for a while, and then I start moving to the right, and that keeps the boulder from being in my way. The boulder always falls where you're at, and if you're continuously moving the same direction, the boulder just won't be there until you switch directions. So about every 2 lightning waves, I'll switch directions and try to make my way back to the middle. And you always kind of want to be in the middle at the start of a lightning wave if you can. That way you have lots of tiles to run to for safety. All right, so let's go ahead and proc enrage phase, plock enrage phase, salt up, because I've been talking for so fucking long. Let's see what this looks like. So there's wave 1, I think, okay, so wave 1 spawns on wave 6, on tick 6, right? Yeah, tick 6, the first wave spawns. So it's 6, 5, 6, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, the lightning's exploding. You can pause that and slow it down, and you'll see that on 6, 1, 2, the lightning spawns, and then on ticks, what did I just say? 6, 1, 2, lightning spawns, 3, 4, 5, the lightning is exploding. Okay, so now what I'm just doing, see how I'm moving kind of from one side to the other? Now that I get into the corner here, I move back to the middle. Okay, so I'm going to thrall, keep my prayer points high, move over to one side, go back towards the middle. Keep going to the right. I don't like to get in onto the last tile there, and I start switching my directions here. If you're in the middle of the room, you have lots of choices for where to go. See how I stepped on the first wave there? There, dodge a bunch of lightning, go back towards the middle. All the way to the left. Now I'm going to switch directions, watching out for the boulder. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 1 explodes, wave 2 explodes, wave 3 explodes. So let's say you start taking hits by lightning there. Let's just start getting hit by lightning. I just used my last prayer potion dose. Oh, good, I had more. Okay, you're getting hit. I'm still 53 HP, so as long as I'm praying against a Bach, I don't need to panic. Just don't get hit by a boulder. I'm fine. Oh no, I can't be one hit. I'm 33 HP. Well, let's see it. Take a lightning, heal up. Put your Karis back on. What is the max hit? 27. Let's take some hits here and see what kind of damage I can get hit here. 22. I don't know if it's gonna be the same in a. It's hard to tell myself to stand still long enough to get hit by lightning. 27. Okay, so it is max. It's the same max hit. Still 27. So I can take another hit. If you want to carry spec at this point, so be it. But you see how like the max hit you can get hit right now is 27. Apparently it's the same in a 450 as in a 500. Maybe it's kind of like the orbs during P1 of Warden. Like they max 45s. I know I've got enough care spec. I'm going to make sure I'm blue potted because this took so long. I'm keeping my prayer points high. I'm 45 HP. Oh no, I'm fine. Get hit. I'm fine. I'm 45 HP. I can literally take another hit if I need to. I'm trying to get hit by lightning without getting hit by a boulder. It's actually harder than it sounds. Okay, I'm fine. Can't keep your prayer points high. Know that if you are 30 or more, you're fine. And then eventually the boss is dead. If that comes off well and you found that helpful, feel free to like and subscribe. Hopefully that was those are some good pointers to keep in mind for last row. You want to bob and weave back to the middle. Keep your prayer points high. Adren at the start, even as you saw there, my Adren probably ran out near the end because I was taking forever. But in a typical run, your Adren's going to last the whole fight. So just pop Adren, keep HP above 30. If you get to 30, once you're between 54, 55, once you're between 55 and 0 HP, as soon as you get hit by a lightning, throw on your Karis, drink a prayer potion, and Karis spec. Because at 55 HP, you can take 2 lightnings before you're dead. Pray against the Bach, dodge the boulder, Karis, get back up, and start moving again. That's the HP that I would consider using and think about. I have had so many white chests since this update. I don't know if I've had a purple since the update. Huh. 2.9 mil. There you go. Friggin' cool. Found that helpful. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know. Is there anything else really important about last rowing that you guys find, especially with dehydration on? Those are my big big tips there, and hopefully that was helpful.